Hey User World, I want to talk about Goyard today as it is a fantastic heritage brand. And I feel like anytime you look at Goyard, whether it's on social media, maybe you're Googling it and you're doing some research, all of the news when it comes to Goyard is pointed at the St. Louis tote, including in real life as well. If you're going down, the street in New York City, or perhaps going to the grocery store, to the gym, literally 9 times out of 10, chances are you are going to see a St. Louis tote whenever you see this particular print. There are such fantastic models that I've come to discover when it comes to Goyard that I want to highlight today. And if you are thinking about adding a Goyard to your collection, I would highly recommend that you take a look at these models as opposed to the St. Louis tote, because I have poo-pooed the St. Louis tote left and right. Now, if you do own a St. Louis tote, I'm sure you love it. And who am I to tell you what to do with your money? I'm just highly encouraging you to take a look at other models that I think are fantastic before you take the plunge and just buy what everybody else already has. And fun fact, the St. Louis tote from Goyard is definitely the top 5 most replicated bags there is. So food for thought, you do what you will with your money. It's completely up to you. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but let's open the spectrum and see what is there to discover about Goyard and their other models that I think are completely underrated. So let's just get right into it. As you can see, there are 3 Goyard bags in front of me. I want to go in chronological order of which one I picked up. Let's start with the first bag, which is the plume bag, if I'm saying that correctly, and I know you guys have corrected me. It is the first Goyard bag I ever purchased in Paris. I no longer have this in my collection. I did sell it off because it was just way too small. Overrated. I know that's probably more of an entry-level piece when it comes to Goyard, and literally fit nothing. I want to say I used it all of maybe once, maybe twice, so I don't think that is a good piece to add to your collection if it's your first time buying Goyard, because unless you float around in life and you're just going to dinner and you carry maybe just 1 or 2 credit cards, maybe a lippy, it's definitely not the bag for you. It's like that reel where it's like, what do you carry in that bag? Nothing but a lippy. That's probably it. Because if you have the unfortunate life like I do, where I have to carry 2 phones, maybe a wallet, maybe something else, a card holder, girl, nothing's gonna fit in there. You probably can fit 2 Tic Tacs in that plume bag. So very cute. I love the design. It just needed to be much more functional by having it be a little bit, more depth, so to speak, more depth to that bag. So that was the first bag I purchased in Paris. And honestly, if you haven't seen the Paris haul, go check that out. It was a terrible experience, but I did give Goyard a second chance. And the essay from my second bag here gave me a wonderful, luxurious experience. So let's get into the second bag that I think you should consider, which is the Belvedere bag in the small size. I got this in the burgundy color. I've always eyeballed this bag, and I was very happy that I was able to pick this up without waiting 2 hours in line. I think I want to say we waited maybe 10 minutes to get into the Goyard store. And again, our SA was just a really nice person to work with. So after using this for a couple months, I want to say this is a very functional bag if you are looking for a crossbody. And as you can see, the theme with these 3 bags that I think is so much better than the St. Louis tote is because they are much more structured, right? The biggest gripe I have with the St. Louis tote is that it is this painted canvas or coated canvas. It's not as durable as Louis Vuitton's canvas, obviously, but there is an appeal to this particular print, right? However, with the St. Louis tote, not to go on a rant here, but it is a very flexible tote, right? So what happens to paint? As you use it like a piece of cloth, right? The more you smash it together, pull it apart, have things in it, and it stretches, it just becomes worn and just looks very tired. And of course, the paint eventually, this is just physics, it's gonna fall off. And if you look at the secondary market, any St. Louis tote, the straps on it is just trashed, right? Whether it's the paint coming off, it's cracking, it just looks terrible. And the only thing you can do is probably go purchase it brand new. But even then, I had a friend who did buy a St. Louis tote. He was using it for, I want to say, a couple times in a weekend, and I already saw corner wear. Some of you may say it's user error, but really, like, how rough can you be unless you're grabbing the tote and just dragging it across the gravel? Like, it should have some sort of durability, right? So anyways, enough of my rant here. This is why I don't like the St. Louis tote, and I will never purchase the St. Louis tote. However, going back to the Belvedere, this is, as you can see, much more structured, right? Yes, it is still prone to wear and tear on the corners just like any bag, but you can see the canvas is not something you need to worry about of the wear and tear, just because there isn't that flexibility of you using a very unstructured tote, so to speak. And I think this is a fantastic bag for both men and women. It is large enough for you to fit all of your essentials in there. If you have a tiny water bottle, you can definitely fit that in there. I did do a full review on this bag if you want to go check that out of what fits in here. And I think this is a very functional bag because it does have a back pocket where you can fit an entire phone in here, sideways or vertically. In the front, this strap keeps your flap closed. It's not my favorite. I wish it was just a magnet closure as opposed to this strap, because you do have to play a little bit of target practice, but I can say this is definitely going to keep your bag incredibly secure. And I will say it is much easier for you to loop the strap through when you have stuff in the bag when it's filled. Very similar to the Pochette Métis, where the closure, the metal portion of it, it's hard to lock it closed when there's nothing in it. Now the interior is fabric lined, and I'll talk about that in a second here, something that you do need to be aware of. This does have a very long adjustable crossbody strap. So like I said, if you are a bigger person or if you're a more petite person, there is adjustability, and if you need to have more holes, you can punch your own if you like. I wonder if Goyard actually offers that service. I know Hermes does. If you know, drop me a comment down below. Let everybody know to see if Goyard actually offers that in store to have extra holes punched in the strap for you. There's a little bit of organization with the 2 interior slip pockets in the front and then as well as in the back. The durability and functionality of this bag is definitely top notch compared to the other coat of canvas, Louis Vuitton. They have a lot of pieces. I know nowadays they do have the treated vachetta, however you want to say that, but historically, the vachetta of the Louis Vuitton pieces can get stained and it does patina. Yes, I understand there is the charm of that, but if you don't want to deal with that, this is definitely a better option because you don't have to worry about any of these leather pieces because it's just regular leather that is grained and it's fantastic quality. And to me, this is just a very worry-free piece that you don't have to like check your weather app, like what is the forecast in 3 hours? Is it going to rain? If you get a little bit of water on this, misting, drizzle on this, don't have to worry about it. Now, obviously you don't want to be walking in it with a torrential downpour rain, right? It's still leather at the end of the day. So I do foresee the wear and tear on this particular bag to be fantastic for many years to come, as long as I take really good care of it. So that is the first one I think you should totally consider. The second piece is the Goyard 233. Now, this is the older version where it is full print with the Goyard print. However, their newer version of the 233 is a full leather piece. Honestly, I do like this version a little bit better because it looks a little bit more cohesive to me, whereas the new one, like it's kind of a two-tone kind of material to me, and I don't like that as much. All right, I just adjusted the light, and this is a new filming setup, so I'm testing it out to see how it goes. For those of you who are new, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. If you haven't done so already for me, drop me a comment down below. Let me know you are new so I can welcome you to my channel. And those of you who are returning, you can see this is, let me know, what do you think? Do you like this new setup? I'm filming at night, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's okay, but let me know if you like this kind of setup where we're a little bit more up close and personal, where you can see more of my blemishes and zits. Any case, what I was saying when it comes to the 233, this is kind of like your traditional formula of a flap bag. You've got the flap itself, the gold hardware, and then the interior is 2 different compartments. 1 slip pocket, well, actually 2 slip pockets. The biggest difference I want to say with this bag, with any of their other Goyard bags, is that this is fully leather lined. So it's going to be a little bit heavier. And of course, you've got the pretty solid, massive piece of gold hardware. So this is significantly much heavier than the other bags, which is okay because it is a shoulder bag. As you can see, you can double it up, kind of like a Chanel where you can do a short shoulder, or if you want to pull it through and it becomes a long shoulder. This is not long enough for me to crossbody, but I am a bigger person at 5'8" or 172 centimeters, size medium usually. But if you're a smaller person, you could probably, like if you're like super petite, 5'1", you could probably wear this as a crossbody. However, I think the proportions might be a little bit odd because then this becomes like a messenger bag on you. So I don't know, do what you will with that information. The functionality of this bag is not as good as this one, just because I do enjoy my crossbodies. However, I do like the back. It does have a back pocket, and in the front, you are definitely able to fit a lot of stuff in here. It is accordion, so you do have to stretch it out a little bit. Now, do I use this bag as often as the other two? No, just because it's a shoulder bag, even when it's a short shoulder and becomes like an armpit bag, or perhaps it's a long shoulder, it's just not as convenient for me. So hence I tend to gravitate towards crossbody bags a little bit more. Do I still like this bag? Yes. Is this a forever bag? Probably not, but again, I still like this 100 times more than the St. Louis tote. How many more times can I dig at the St. Louis? Probably a couple more. I did purchase this from the Real at a very fantastic price. However, the hardware was incredibly scratched up, but I did a little bit of experiment as well as magic, and I made it look incredibly shiny and not very many scratches anymore. So definitely go check out that video and watch me do some voodoo magic. Because if you have any bags that is not just to Goyard, just anything that has a large surface area of hardware and it's pretty scratched up, definitely go give it a try, because it will bring a second life to a bag that you thought could not be saved. The last bag is my mini Vendome that I picked up this year, and it has quickly risen to the top of one of my favorite bags to wear, not just in the Goyard space, but in my whole entire bag collection. And this is such an underrated bag. Literally nobody talks about it. I want to say my video when I first unboxed it was probably one of the first, if not only, on YouTube at least. This is a fantastic alternative to the Louis Vuitton Alma because one, this one comes with a crossbody strap and it's a completely different print, and you also don't have to worry about the vachetta or vachetta. It is an adorable top handle and it does come with feet already. I've worn this bag so much and it looks like the day I got it, at least on the outside. I'll talk a little bit about the inside real quick, but you can wear it very casually with a casual outfit, or if you want, a very dolled up outfit as well. There is a detachable strap, which is really interesting because they sell this separately at the Goyard store. Like, it doesn't come as a set, which I found like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you not want to just buy, like have it come as a set? So that was pretty bizarre. And another thing I love is that it comes with 2 zipper pulls. Some other brand like Hermes, as much as I love Hermes, because I do have the Bolide 35, it only comes with 1 zipper pull, which I find incredibly annoying because I like to have the flexibility of 2 zippers so that I can go left or I can go right. How I feel, I can pull the zipper open. Now the interior is also fabric lined with their famous yellow interior. However, this is where I am so glad I got one of these. An insert. Whenever possible, I always try to avoid inserts because I just like, maybe call me a purist. I don't like doing bag charms. I don't switching out the different straps. I like to keep it the way it is and how it's designed to be worn, with its original strap and everything, right? That also includes the interior and not having inserts. However, this is a fabric lined bag and it is also very light colored. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll make sure to insert photos. I already started getting it dirty. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to get an insert for this. And I know there are a lot of companies out there, and Suzhou, if I'm saying that correctly, was kind enough to send me one of these inserts. that fits perfectly inside the mini Vendome. And again, this is not a very popular bag, so not a whole lot of brands out there do make an insert for the mini Vendome. This is a felt material, so normally I don't really like felt. However, there's a big difference between a cheapy Amazon one that you find, or perhaps Etsy, where it's felt and it just like, I have hangnails all the time and it gets caught on it. Whereas this one, yes, it is felt. However, it is much higher quality. I'll let you know the wear and tear of this. Now the interior, there aren't too many compartments. I actually do not like inserts or organizers that have like 50 different compartments. That's not something I need, because the purpose is either for the shape or for the purpose of keeping my bag clean on the inside. I don't need the organization, because usually I use pouches like this one, or perhaps to dress up your purse, where I transport things from one bag to the other. So I don't really need compartments. So I like things to be simple, not crazy. If they didn't come with interior or lined pockets, I'm completely okay with that. I just want to keep my bag clean. Now you can see it fits inside the bag really well. It doesn't add a whole lot of bulk to it. Would I still prefer the silk version? Yes, I definitely would, because I feel like it's much more luxurious. I don't think they offer it. Zucho doesn't offer it as of right now, so hopefully they'll offer it in the future and have more variety. Now, I think a fantastic option for a lot of these organization companies or bag organizer company makers, how many times am I gonna say that, is maybe think about waterproofing the bottom, like making the base of the organizer waterproof. How cool would that be? So thanks Chujo for sending the organizer to me. Go check out their website. I think they're also on Amazon. Again, there are a lot of different brands, so definitely check out Chujo to see if they may be a good fit for your particular bags. So there you have it. These are 3 different bags that is an alternative to the St. Louis that I think will be a better fit. I want to say out of these 3, this is definitely my favorite because of how cute it is. Additionally, with the functionality, and this is the one I gravitate towards the most. Now, if you want me to make a follow-up video on other Goyard bags I'm interested in, or perhaps recommend, let me know, drop me a comment down below. Tell me which one is your favorite out of all 3 of these. What are your thoughts on them? So I love to hear from you. And if you have any questions on any of these bags, do drop me a comment down below as well. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, definitely go really pay attention to the stories, because if there are any deals or steals, a very curated lineup, I will make sure to post on my stories so that you can actually take advantage. So hope you really enjoyed this. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll leave you another video here if you want to see more Goyard, and I'll see you all next time.